We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Terence Crawford says he will step on Jermell Charlo to promote his David Avanesyan fight. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you come in and smash the like button. Terence Crawford fight week. David Avanesyan is his opponent, and he was asked about Errol Spence. The conversation is about, really, in all of his interviews, seems to be about PBC fighters that he didn't choose to fight because he instead went to BOK Prime to fight David Avanesyan. Now, David Avanesyan, Bomac, Crawford's manager and trainer, he even says on record, and you can find it on YouTube, he didn't even know initially who David Avanesyan was. So, hell of a way to sell the David Avanesyan fight when your own trainer is saying he didn't even know who the guy was. So again, every interview, the conversation seems to be about Errol, Gervonta Davis, and Jermell Charlo. Three guys that are with Al Haymon, and Crawford right now, as we speak, could have been with Al Haymon, even if it was under a tune-up style, setup for at least an introductory fight with PBC, kind of like what Demetrius Andrade is doing, or Rashidi Ellis. He's on his second fight with PBC after leaving Golden Boy. Crawford had other plans. That's where we're at. But he did talk about Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence. He says, yeah, I really do. That fight can happen next if he hasn't announced a fight yet. We shall see. Boxing is boxing. The fans can't always get what they want, just like the fighters can't always get what they want. Definitely 100%. He was asked about if he will fight Jermell Charlo. So he said 100%. You know what's going to happen. I'm going to step on him, end quote. So he said he's going to step on Jermell Charlo if he were to move up and fight at 154. I feel strong physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm ready to go out there and have some fun. I never go in there expecting the knockout, just looking for victory, and that's what I'm going there looking for. I'm making sure my hand is raised at the end of the fight. He's tricky, so he's referring to David Avanesyan now. He said he's tricky, he's tough, he's durable, he's in shape and always comes to fight. He's determined, and his will to win is on 10 right now. He counters better than a lot of people think. He's a person that counters real good. We got to prepare for whatever he brings to the table because he's a professional boxer just like myself. He's been around a very long time, and he knows what he's doing in the ring just like myself. So we just go in on our P's and Q's at times. In the first couple of rounds, you fill out a fighter and get to see certain things, and you make your adjustments from there. The fans are going to react the way they react. It's not my job to get caught up in the fans. I like to put on a great performance, but at the same time, I've got to stick to the game plan and make sure I get the victory. It comes from the price of being that good. A lot of people view me as the best fighter in the world, and it shows because I'm at fault for everything. So me being at fault for everything shows, whether they want to admit it or not, that I'm that guy. I've already said everything that needed to be said. There's nothing else that needs to be said. I did what I had to do to try to make the biggest fight in boxing happen. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. And I'm here now looking forward to fighting David Avanesyan this Saturday. So, I mean, my personal opinion, none of this really sounds believable. And I'm going to break it down why I feel that way. So, for example, he says, I tried everything in my power to make the fight, except sign the contract. That's usually what people do when they actually want to fight, like David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, like Hector Luis Garcia and Gervonta, or Gervonta and Ryan Garcia. That's what they do. So he also said in this, these quotes from his media day, he says, it shows you that I'm that guy because they blame me for everything. How does that prove that, So that, to me, that was a weird statement. He says the fact that they're blaming me shows me that I'm that guy. How does it show you that? They're blaming you because people feel you're at fault. Because whether you like it or not, this week is your fight. Crawford versus Avanesyan. That is a fact. You don't have to be behind the scenes. That is a fact because you were at your media day for the fight. So if, like I said before, if two cars are speeding towards each other saying they want to play chicken, Crawford's car swerved first. If you want to play chicken, you just keep going head on until, someone swerves or you crash head on. Errol sped up and kept on course. Crawford veered off so he didn't hit the car. That's what happened in the game of chicken. Henceforth, why you're doing a media day and you have David Avanesyan in your gym. Point blank, period. There's a reason Errol Spence doesn't have a fight actually announced, because his team was fully under the impression that Terence Crawford would be next and that they were encroaching a deal. So there was no reason to have a backup, just like Steven Espinoza says. And I think PBC and Al Heyman and Errol Spence's side is showing you that just based on the fact that he has nothing announced and it's the week of Crawford's fight. So they could have already announced what Errol Spence is doing next. Maybe they just want to see how Crawford looks before they decide, or maybe they'll announce it this week. I don't know. But there's a reason why Crawford's in his fight week and Errol Spence, his next foe is still TBA, is, to be announced. So we don't know. So he's saying, I did everything I could. How could you possibly say that when you did everything but sign? And then you told the media, I've agreed to all their BS. But how did you agree to all their BS if you didn't have a signed contract? That makes no sense. So truth be told, Terence Crawford, he kind of sounds narcissistic. He's like saying things that are comfort food. He's saying, oh, that's the price of being good. And when you're the best, they blame you for everything. But you're purposefully not listening to what people's gripes are and what they're saying. And then you're just chalking it up as angry fans and fans don't know no better. And that's the price of being good. That, to me, that just sounds like something a parent would tell their kid. Like the kid came in second place and they're like, oh, I still love you. You know what I'm saying? Just to make the kid feel better. So it sounds like Crawford's inner circle probably has a lot of yes men. And, maybe they're just saying, hey, it ain't you. It's all them. It's them PBC guys. It's Al Heyman. It's Errol Spence. And then Crawford is like slopping it up and, embracing that and saying, oh, yeah, they're just saying that because I'm pound for pound number one. Because if you listen, everything Crawford sounds like, it sounds like a broken record. He talks about his fight with Gamboa. He talks about wherever situations he feels he was an underdog. He talks about all of his past accomplishments in divisions that do not matter in the current division that he's in. Like you beating De'Ari Jean or Felix Diaz or Thomas Delorme or anybody else outside of 147 really has no bearing in the welterweight division. We want to see who's the best out of the welterweights. So all those other accomplishments, respects, that's what got you to this point in your career. But it's like you hit the reset button. The things you did at 135 no longer meant anything at 140, and you had to solidify yourself at 140, which Crawford did and became undisputed. But then when you moved up 7 pounds to welterweight, you hit the reset button again because you kept moving up, and now you got to do it again. That's the nature of being great. It's like Tom Brady, if he starts playing with the Buccaneers and he's with the Bucs now, all that stuff you did with the New England Patriots, that's cool. Those are pass rings. Boxing, just like most sports, but boxing specifically, is a what have you done for me lately sport. So at the end of the day, you're with the Buccaneers now. We know Tom Brady got rings with the New England Patriots. Just like in boxing, we know Crawford beasted up in 135 and 140. Mind you, they weren't the most stacked divisions. Now you're in a stacked division and you haven't fought the same caliber and echelon of fighters like Errol Spence, like Sean Porter, like Keith Thurman, like Manny Pacquiao, etc., etc. Now, one thing that I found hilarious, and you guys study, just listen to what I'm saying, because you're always going to have, because I know I'm great. So you're going to always have people who try to say the opposite of what you say. But I implore you as boxing fans to hear these words that I'm saying, put it into your cerebral cortex and determine if it makes sense. Say, okay, that makes sense what he's saying. So listen up. The thing I find amusing is listen to what Crawford said. If not, rewind this video and listen to those quotes. Crawford and his media day, he's saying all pleasantries about David Avanesyan. So the rest of the world is looking at David Avanesyan as having very little chance to beat a guy as good as Crawford, right? People, and I'm not condoning this, but let's be real. I see the comments. I have a popular channel, popular platforms. People are calling him a cab driver, tomato can. People saying he's a cherry pick. Some people are saying he's a bum. Me, I don't talk like that about fighters. I don't call them bums and all that extra stuff. But I'm talking about the overall consensus. Consensus is he's a major underdog. But listen to Crawford. He's saying, oh, David Avanesyan, he's better than people think with counters. And, oh, but David Avanesyan, he's been around and he's a professional boxer just like I'm a professional boxer. But so is Errol Spence Jr. So while you're trying your best to build up David Avanesyan, he said, oh, he's a professional boxer. So is Jermell Charlo. And you're not showing Jermell Charlo the same utmost respect that you're showing David Avanesyan. So you tell me if that sounds believable. Terence Crawford, he's saying, Jermell Charlo, he's easy work. I'm going to step on him. So he's a professional boxer who's undisputed, which is something that David Avanesyan has never accomplished. He's never even been a real champion he's never unified or anything like that. But your words are so it shows me that Crawford is emotional, because we know that Jermell Charlo in the world of boxing has done more than David Avanesyan. But you're talking to Jermell Charlo, a current undisputed fighter who's about to fight a better fight than Crawford in Costa Tzu's son, Tim Tszyu, right? Young power guy, beat Terrell Goucher, an Olympian, right? And you're talking about Jermell Charlo like he ain't ish, but in the same interview, in the same media day, you're talking David Avanesyan up. So you tell me what's wrong with this picture. You tell me that what I'm saying don't make sense if you were true and a real boxing fan. The guy that's undisputed and the hard path at 154, a stacked division, one of the most stacked divisions. It's either maybe heavyweight now, 54, 75 is pretty good, 47, and lightweight. And 140 is pretty stacked. Those are the most stacked divisions in boxing. So in one of the most, if not the most stacked division, 154, over the last couple of years, Jermell Charlo been getting all them belts. You're talking about stepping on him, but then telling the world and trying to sell us on David Avanesyan. And people would have loved, even if you didn't fight Errol Spence, they would have loved for you to fight Jermell Charlo instead. They would have loved if you fight Jaron Boots Ennis, or if you would have fought against Virgil Ortiz or anybody that the crowd wants to see you, even if it wasn't Errol Spence. So to me, this doesn't sound believable. Oh, David Avanesyan, he's always in shape. Jermell Charlo's always in shape. He's determined. Jermell Charlo's always determined. He has a will to win. Jermell Charlo has a will to win. You're saying basic stuff to try to talk up David Avanesyan. Oh, he's on 10 right now. Jermell Charlo, yeah, keep running your mouth. Yeah, Lions only. He's always on 10. He's always in shape, and he's proven more. So it's like, what are we really talking about? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I know I'm the best in the business. Y'all need to just subscribe. The truth is here, and the truth shall set you free. How are you going to talk about Errol Spence like, oh, PBC don't want to let Errol Spence fight, and I'm gonna step on Jermell Charlo, which is cool. Like, I'm not even arguing. You a fighter, you're supposed to want to think that you can beat anybody. I'm not even mad at that. But the problem with what I'm saying is you're downplaying greater fighters, at least in the public's eye, like Gervonta Davis, really Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, right? That's because they're closer to where his weight class is. And then you're making them sound like they ain't ish, but then telling us how good David Avanesyan and how hungry he is. What is that? Come on. That don't even make sense. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Call me when it's gangster, man. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.